Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is March 14, 2024, and today is Thursday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Bitcoin coming back to life and hitting all-time new record highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we have at 1:30 South African time, out of the United States, PPI number coming out, which is a producer's price index number coming out. Now, looking at the various markets going into this number, starting out with the Forex symbols, the major pairs pretty much unchanged. And as we look at the indices, the Dow Jones also rallies to new record highs, while the NASDAQ is still just tapering off. Now, looking at the commodities, we're watching gold holding on to its gains as that pushed higher, and looking at oil on its resistance-ish level. Now looking at stocks, JP Morgan is the one that pushed the markets higher, also to new record highs. And lastly, as we spoke about before, cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin makes new highs. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. First with the Euro USD, just to make a point here, okay, the majors are really unchanged, which means that they're trading within a 50 range pip. Now, over the past couple of days, we've been trading even shorter than that, about a 20 pip range, which is really insignificant. For all intents and purposes, almost impossible to trade. However, we are at resistance-ish level, and if this PPI number adds some weight to the market right now, we may see this falter. So just keep that in mind, as this is still something to keep on the radar. Now jumping into commodities, looking at gold. Gold had this massive move over the past few days, okay, going from 2,049, which was the resistance-ish level, to 49.50-ish level was the resistance, passing right through it, and then passing through 2083 to $2,100, okay, which is a significant push higher. Now, is it all-time record highs? Yes, it's at all-time record highs. So considerably, it can continue pushing up even higher, as it just breaking its all-time record highs. 2,100 was that breaking high. Now, with that said, some issues with the inflationary report. So we have still somewhat an inflationary environment that we are currently right in. And the Fed did say it's going to be higher interest rates for longer. So keep that in mind as well. Now looking at crude oil at the top of its range at $79 a barrel, not breaking out higher. Now this is very important. You got to keep an eye on this, because if it does break out higher, we'll see this massive move on the upside. Now jumping into the U.S. markets, Dow Jones all-time record highs. You can see it right there, and it's orbital. I mean, it's just wanting to close in at that 40K, and I believe it will. Okay, looking at the NASDAQ, it's tapering off right below its all-time record highs. Now, what is it that took us to these highs? Let's take a look at it. JP Morgan, okay, the largest financial institution in the world, continues to make new record highs as well, as that is getting much stronger. Bank of America also breaking out on the upside. Now, looking at big tech, it's not across the board. I mean, if we looked at Apple, in the trenches. In fact, if we look at a weekly chart of Apple, it's on supportish level, as this is retracing as well, as this is making those inroads. ALCOA actually getting a little bit stronger here as well. If we look at Facebook, it's trading sideways, okay, not doing much here, as that has continued to trade sideways. And some of the other big tech, besides Amazon, also on its upper range, but not breaking out higher either. Now, if we look at the chip makers, this is the one, okay? We've been mentioning this several times, okay? This has really been the one. AMD pushed higher, but is retracing as well. So we're seeing that. Now, the question is this a retracement, or is this a correction? Is it start of a correction? We don't know yet, okay? The reason I say is it a start of a correction, because remember, we're going into an election year. We're in March, okay, which means that it's Biden versus Trump, and the next 6 months are going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Who knows what to expect, okay? In the markets, there are going to be a lot of surprises. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, pushed higher this morning to $73,278. I mean, $73,278. Now, this thing has obviously taken off, okay, especially as it's broken every single possible thing that we could look at. I mean, it's at all-time record highs with some decent volume. That's super, super important, although it's got to carry through, okay, which I'd like to see, and it may even push even higher than that. So keep that in mind. This is Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.